5 years ago, I shaved my head, put on robes, and moved into the Shaolin Temple in Los Angeles. Most people thought I'd lost my mind, but really, I was finding it again. This is the story of how I became a female Shaolin monk, what it was really like to live there, and how it completely changed my life. Let's take it back to 2020. COVID was in full swing. I had just graduated college with a BFA in contemporary musical theater and film, and I was dating someone who I truly believed was the love of my life. Unfortunately, he was not who I thought he was. That relationship quickly became something very dark, painful, and traumatic. He became violent and hostile. He threatened to hurt me and my family. He destroyed my belongings. He even stole my money. When it ended, I was shattered. Physically, I was safe, but mentally confused. I didn't recognize myself anymore. I didn't know who I was. The COVID lockdown had forced me into a reflective state. I was craving healing, purpose, and meaning. And that's exactly what led me to the Shaolin Temple. I learned about Shaolin Temple Los Angeles when I was looking for Tai Chi classes in my area. Knowing a little bit about Shaolin Temple from movies and TV, I was shocked to know that there was a real Shaolin monastery with a real Shaolin monk just 20 minutes away from me. I browsed their website and immediately signed up for a Qigong intro class. At first, it was just excitement, but when I walked through those temple doors, something shifted. The energy there was different. The air smelled of incense and tea. It felt quiet, ancient, and peaceful. We started with a few minutes of Dharma walking before the Qigong class, which was led by one of the disciples who later became my brother, Shi Heng Chou. My intuition had told me that this was the right place for me before I even walked into the temple, but after trying the class and having a cappuccino with Shifu Xian Fan, I knew in my soul that I was where I was meant to be. I signed up as a member and I came back every single day. I was waking up at 5 a.m. to drive from my place in Burbank to the temple in Sherman Oaks, all the while blasting Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, which I had on CD. It pumped me up to get to the temple. I'd get there at 6 a.m. to sweep outside the temple, do some chores, and prepare the temple for the 8 a.m. meditation class. A few weeks of this, and Shifu noticed my dedication. He invited me to live in the temple. Of course, I said yes. Living in the temple was nothing like I'd imagined. Every day started before dawn. I'd wake up, carry a bucket of dishes down to the temple, light incense, pray and bow before the altar, sweep the leaves away from the front of the temple, and then make tea. I would always offer tea to the altar first, and then make Shifu's tea. You can never drink tea before Shifu. And then I would convene with Shifu for our morning meeting while he had his tea. I'd lead the Qigong and Kung Fu classes, teach the children, make tea, clean, and run the day-to-day operations and administration of the temple. And of course, I can't leave out the intense training that I did as well. But everything was part of the training. There was no hiding from Shifu. He would catch every mistake. He would reflect every detail of my behavior. Every single day was like this for 3 years. I had my head shaved for the first 2 years. And at one point, I sprained my ankle pretty badly, but that's another story. My only job was to listen to Shifu, train my body, and calm my mind. Not gonna lie, at first it was really hard. My body was in so much pain. I wanted to quit, but the temple doesn't break you. It reveals you. Shifu would always say, "First, you need to learn to see, hear, and feel." It was about awareness. Every act, whether it was making tea, listening to Shifu's philosophy, or even sweeping, was a form of meditation. Shaolin taught me discipline, but not just the harsh kind. Discipline as devotion, showing up for your peace every single day. I learned that real strength isn't force, it's stillness. Shaolin is a journey of peace through strength. A lot of people think that Shaolin is about fighting, but for me, it's about overcoming hardship and becoming a better person. That's where the real healing happened. I calmed my anxiety, I became happier, my heart opened, I reconnected with my family. I became calm in a way I'd never known before. Not passive, but centered. And it's making me a little emotional to talk about this now. I never planned on being a monk my whole life. I had agreed to a 3-year program, and once that was finished, I left. But when I left the temple, I didn't leave the practice behind. No. Now I carry it with me into everything I do. How I eat, how I work, how I talk to people, even my self-care and my skincare routine. Because Shaolin isn't a place, it's a lifestyle, a way of being. It taught me that you can be strong and soft, disciplined and feminine, grounded and graceful. It's just like my name, Soft Silk. Silk is strong and soft. You don't have to choose between warrior and woman. You can be both. If there's just one thing I want you to take away from my story, it's this. You don't have to live in a temple to live life like a monk. Peace isn't somewhere you go. It's something you practice. If this story resonated with you, I'd like to invite you to download my free ebook, 8 Shaolin Practices for Everyday Peace. It's my guide to bringing these lessons into your life, no matter who you are or where you are. Amitabha, that means thank you. Thank you for listening to my story. And remember, peace begins with you.